Hello YouTube, YTPC, Walt, again, with another video, and this time I wrote some notes down. I got some subjects to do, and I'm not just going to be yammering. But first thing is, I learned I'm out of the contest, the Codger challenge, because I don't know if I didn't watch the whole video, if I missed the part about the other tobacco products, but I have been smoking cigars at work. I get the little nubs a lot to smoke between walking back and forth from the building, from my office trailer to the building, and on a piece of machinery or something like that. So anyway, that's over. I'm still going to smoke my blend in the spirit of the contest, but I'm out of the prize part of it. So with that, I'm gonna open up something I just got in the mail, and it's made by, it's on briarfellowship.com. It's called Ravenwood's Tobaccos. It's one of them, I don't know what you call them. They call them artisan blenders. Those people who just, I guess, just make it in their own garage and stuff. But they got a bunch of them. It's just hard to get a lot of them. There's some I haven't even got to try yet, but I got 4 or 5 of them. They're all very good. There's one available now called Morning Cereal or something. A Morning Pastries. It's delicious. This one I haven't tried yet, so I'm about to smoke some of it now. But I'm out of the contest, and I learned that from watching several other people who are also out of it because of they made the same mistake. Smoking cigars. One guy said he snorted snuff or something, and he was eliminated. God, this smells terrific. I'm sorry if you hear a whole bunch of cussing. It's the people in the motel. Look at that. This, dang it, I closed the book. I don't have a description on it. But he went for a new kind of aromatic. Most of the blends I think are aromatics. I'm not sure. All the ones I was able to get were. But this one's supposed to be a light citrus taste. That's really all I remember because I closed my laptop. But okay, next time I write notes about what I meant to say about the blend. There's not really no reviews. There's a guy who reviews his blends. I mentioned before, but I'm not going to assume you watched all my videos. But Tobacco Chronicles. If you ever find his page on Facebook, and he's got a website. He does a lot of these guys who makes these small blends and stuff. He does Ravenwoods. He does Cloud Bears blends. Pritchett's on Instagram. I think he did some. No, he didn't do his blends. Hampton House. He did Hampton House blends. But I also watched the videos. I found out some of my favorite YouTubers are having some hard times. One of them is Southland Piper, one of my favorites. He's one of my best. And he's probably got a lot of extra views just from me alone, because a lot of times if I'm cleaning pipes or trying to restore some of them, I just put his videos on because that's mainly all he does. I bought his product, not his products, but the products he used to restore old pipes and stuff with. And it's very good stuff. The polish is very good. The briar cleaner, refresh. Even if you just want to touch up your own pipes, it does amazing. You don't have to buff your stems and stuff. They got a kit put together for $85. It's got most of it in there. You just have to buy it. If you want to deep clean your briar, get the briar cleaner separate. But it's very good stuff. I tried it all last night. I did 4 or 5 pipes, and I sent a few pipes off today to some people that it did real good. It did real good on this pipe. This is that big old. If you see on my older video, this stem was brown when I got it back from the auction, and I restained it, and I couldn't get that stem clean. I couldn't get it black. It's got a little bit of a gloss to it. I probably rushed this one. It probably needs a little bit more polish on it, but You just take a t-shirt and put that polish. It's a little bit abrasive, and just scrub it out, and it'll come out to a fine. There's another big boy. I got it cleaned up. That's the I can't pronounce the name of it. It's a Meerschaum. That thing's huge. I only tried to smoke it once. I don't even know what I would want to put in here and smoke that much of. Definitely not my Codger blend. But another thing was, Southland Piper. Anyways, that was one of them. Another one is Not Professional Piper. I love watching his videos because he's another one I can just put on the backgrounds and I go back and watch all. I love their accents to people, England, British, however you want to describe them, across the pond. I just like, they're always so cheerful. I never hear him in a bad mood. I'm sure he does, but in his videos, him and Carrick Studios is another one. And all they do is they start out with a blend, they show you the blend, they break it down, they tell you about it, they read the reviews, they smoke it, they make it all sound delicious. They show blends that we don't get in the U.S. and they tell little stories and whatnot. And it's a good channel. So if you run out of people to watch, and you may already watch them, I don't know if they're really in the YTPC community or not. But Carrick Studios is one. Southland Piper, of course. I'm sure a lot of people watch him anyways. If you ever searched how to clean a pipe or how to clean a stem or something, his name comes up. And the Unprofessional Piper or something like that. And another guy, what's his name? Parsimonious Piper. Mentioned them all today. That's how I learned it. Over there. I'm sorry. Southland Piper, I think his father and mother is sick or has leukemia. And I didn't know Unprofessional, but I watched all his videos. I don't know how I missed it. Probably the same way I missed out how I'm not supposed to smoke a cigar during the contest, but he's having a kidney transplant. And that's something you never want to go through, but we all know that. Another thing I was going to do was I watch a lot of the pipe smoking, a lot of pipe smoking YouTube channels and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of us do. I know everybody don't, but I do. But I want to do a small little contest, just to try one. I like giving stuff away, and I got 50 followers or subscribers. That's happy, that made me happy right there, because to me that's quite a lot. But what I'd like to do is just do a little giveaway, and I just pull a name or something next Friday. What's today? No, I do it Friday. Yeah, Friday I do a little spinny wheel thing and pull a name out. But what I'm interested in, like, I was watching Midway Piper. He reads a lot of books and stuff, or does a lot of books. And every time he shows a book, I'm always looking at it like, oh, I need to get that book. And what happens is I buy these books, and then they just sit there. So I started reading some of them. And my books aren't deep like his, but I have to find books that just once I start reading it, I can't put it down. And I know a lot of, I got this one on sale at Walmart. This is a Jack Reacher book. It's the only Jack Reacher I ever read. And I read, when I was in the military, I was on ship a lot. I read one of this guy's books, James A. Michener. I read his book on South Africa. But has a lot of pipe smoking in it. But it starts out, he starts his books out from like the very beginning. Like South Africa starts out at the very beginning of the continent, far as back as he can go. And he makes some of it up to keep the story going. And the one on South Africa was real good because it's about basically, it's been years since I read it, but I remember liking it. It's about the, I think it's the Danish settling there, and their whole goal was this company basically was paying for the ships to come over there, and their whole goal was to, I think, grow wine. They wanted to make wine, trying to compete with France with wine, or make better wine than France or something. And I guess I think champagne's the best they come up with, or something. I forgot how it all went, but it was a good book. It just went on. It starts from the tribes, and then when the Europeans settled, and the different tribes, how they fought each other, and they never got along, and how lighter skinned tribes didn't like the darker skinned tribes and stuff like that. And then when the mixed breeds started happening, nobody liked them, but they'd never had really their own tribe, and it's interesting. And I like stuff like that. I like history stuff. And when I was on night shift, I was watching a lot of the YouTube videos of history and stuff. And one of them I watched was called, what was that one called? It was called Dates and Dead Guys. And he went into a lot. It's a YouTube channel called Dates and Dead Guys. He goes a lot into the Indians that was in North America and South America and all that. But one of the stories he tells is the guy Herman Leham. I bought this book thinking it's gonna be thicker off of Amazon, but and he was captured by the I think the I forgot who caught him first. He moved around a lot, but he lived with the Indians. First, he was their capture, and then he was a slave, and then one tribe traded for him or something, and he became like part of their family. Yeah, he was a German descent, and anyways, he lived with the Indians for so long, he got to where he hated the white man. And then when he got freed, or traded back to the white man because his sister was looking for him the whole time, he still wanted to act like an Indian in front of all the other white people. And it's an interesting book. And there's another one about a girl. She was captured and married, and these Indians. I'm not gonna say everybody, but most people just think cowboy and Indians because that's what we grew up on, the westerns. But these Indians hated each other. I mean, they did not. There were some. If you get a chance, watch them videos, or maybe you already know, but the Comanches and them. I forget. I didn't memorize everything, but I think it was the Comanches. There was one tribe that was just pushed aside by the Apaches. One of them, I forget who it was, but like one was just pushed aside by the other tribe. And then the Spaniards came. They pushed these people back into a region outside of Texas somewhere where nobody wanted to live. That's the only land they could have. And then they got to where the Apaches or somebody was stealing the horses from the Spaniards, and the Spaniards brought these horses over that were magnificent, nothing these Indians ever seen. And a lot of times these horses would get away and run up to where this other tribe was. Well, this other tribe that was pushed around by all these other tribes, you've probably seen it before, but they learned this battle with these horses to where they would lean off the side of them and shoot an arrow underneath the horse's neck. And once they developed that, they was like undefeatable. And that's the ones that started taking out. They finally started fighting back, and they was taking out Spaniards. They was taking out the other tribe that was fighting was the Spaniards all the time. Eventually, had to team up with the Spaniards to fight these other guys. But it's all interesting, and how brutal they were when they caught somebody. They would just cut them and burn them, and they said when the men left, the women was worse, and they would just throw body parts, throw people in the fire alive, and watch them burn alive, and just cut them a lot. And then stop them from bleeding, then cut them again, and then cutting their tongues out and their nose off. This one girl lost her nose, and it was a mess, but very interesting. And another guy I like, I ain't listened to him in years, but it's Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. I went through two of his storylines. The first one was the Mongolians because I loved the Mongolian. I mean, I know it's terrible because they were awful people, but he goes from their whole timeline from all the cons basically, and how terrible these people was, and all the awful things they would do to intimidate their enemies, and how they would just dominate. When they come to fight, they just dominated everything. They were master horse riders and stuff, and they were masters with their weapons, and they would just starve people out and burn bodies and sling them back over the walls, and it's awful. He did that one, and he did the what's the other one called? Something. The Blueprint for Armageddon, which he goes through World War One, and that's a real interesting one too, because World War One don't get a lot of movies and stuff made about it as much as World War Two and Vietnam does, but World War One was it was the first time like the world got together to fight each other basically, and some people rode in on tanks and some people rode in on horses, and they learned in some of them first battles that they weren't quite ready for everybody to be fighting everybody. And he goes through the whole history of it, from the assassination all the way up to I forgot how it ended. I don't. It's been, like I said, it's been a while since I heard that one. But if you're bored, look up him. I don't know how you get his stuff now. He used to do a podcast. I think they sell his volumes now, like $2.99 for a volume or something. But if you're on a road trip or something, you may want to check it out. But that's what I want you to do. If you want to win, I know everybody don't want this. Just try and get a little bump. If you want to win, this tobacco, it's a big tobacco. It's not made no more. It's made by Sutliff. It's not Maple Shadows. I made a mistake and gave all of it away but 110. But I do have Blackthorn Chardonnay. And I'd like to give this to somebody. If you would just like my video, subscribe, share my video, maybe go through some of my older videos and give them a like, and tell me some of your YouTube channels you watch that's not pipe related, especially if it's history or stuff, because I go down rabbit holes and I watch guys. I started from Minecraft videos years ago to I always like people who takes old stuff, and if they're fixing up an old house, I watch the videos of them. I went through a schooly phase where people took buses and made homes out of them. I liked all the pole ball garage and vice grip, all the guys who pulled junk car. I like vice grips who used to pull cars out of a field, work on it in the field, and then drive it like 1,000 miles back to Iowa or Tennessee, wherever he's living at the time. And I always liked I got in this one weird phase where people are just like taking old castles and living into them, and old farm in Ireland I watched a couple build with no electricity or anything. Another guy's fixing up an old hotel in Italy or France somewhere, and I can watch stuff like that. And then I go just watch guys who just takes old rusty Tonka trucks and then tear them all apart and sandblast them down and clean up the wheels and the windshield and put them back together, and old coffee grinders, just dumb stuff, even old lawnmowers. But I don't know, I just like seeing stuff, and that's why I started messing around with pipe, because it's about the simplest thing I can do, like in a motel room, working 10 or 12 hours a day, depending. I always have time to mess with some of these. They may stock up. I may have a box full of them to do, but I could clean them up and then gift them to somebody. Or I didn't do this one. I don't know why I keep showing it. I showed y'all that before. This one I bought from somebody online. But yeah, if you'd like to win this, if you like aromatics, or if you just like collecting the tins, because that's a nice tin. This is about I'm not. I'd say this is about $35 or $40 tin of tobacco. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's say 25 at the most, but you could get it for free just for clicking a few ticky ticks on the computer. And tell me like what you watch, what videos you like to watch. If you even watch YouTube, if it's outside the pipe. But I like to know, and it might be something I might go down that rabbit hole with you, because, like I said, I'm always driving. I listen to videos on the road. I don't watch them. But that's why I listen to a lot of people, like I was talking about, Carrick Studios, because they could talk. Some people can talk and you don't have to look at them. Some people you have to look at what they're doing because they're showing you stuff, and that's fine. When I sit here in the motel room, I watch more YouTube now than I do TV shows. I don't get into a lot of TV shows anymore, but it is one of my favorite things now. Not favorite things, but I hear a lot of people say I don't like making long videos. No, nobody watches long videos, but I watch a long video. Because to me, a lot of times, if I'm interested in that one, it comes to an end. My new thing, yeah, you can't find another one, or it may not be the same thing, or you want to know more about what they were just talking about. But my new thing is tobacco growing. Oh, I didn't show you those books, did I? Oh man, I meant to start my video like this as a little joke about my next Codger blend 2026. But anyways, that's what you need right there. These are the little books. You can actually get this book. I think it's Fair Trade or Fair Tobacco Trade or something like that. So it's a old forum. I can't believe forums are still around actually. But it's an old forum, and they actually give you this book if you want to print it out. I don't know if the guy's still alive or not who wrote it, but he shows you how to make your own tobacco. He gives you recipes. He tries to show you the part I haven't understood yet is the blending part. Because he can't tell you like put 4 parts of this into this. He can't tell you how much weight to use in your mixtures because different tobaccos have different densities and way different amounts. But he has a way of doing it. I just have to take my time and study it. Try to find some of the recipes, but a whole lot of recipes in it. He shows you how to press it. He's got 2 books. He's got another one. He's got 90 more. These are all recipes in this one. But this one, he tells you how to make Perique. This one, he tries to make Latakia, his own Latakia, and Cavendish, and press. But what I like about it is, let's find one of the blends. One of the blends, for example, so he does a little thing like this, like he gives you the recipe. Do you see that? I hope that's not backwards for y'all. Then he gives you a little, a tin art to go on it. Yeah, I think you're supposed to cut that out of the book, but you can still, if you get the free version, you can just cut that out or scan it. If you have I can learn how to do all this again. I did this years ago, making my own jar arts, but I hadn't been on an actual computer in years. I got tired of buying ribbons from my other printers, and now I got one of them HP tank computers where I just filled fluid up. And yeah, there's some pretty good tin art in here. And keep your old tins that you put in the jar and put some in there. Just put this on your jars. Pretty neat. Maybe I'm the last one to know about this. Some people, everybody else may be doing this already, but there's some bulking ingredients, and he gives Virginia, like one's called Baby Bottoms. That's Virginia Double Bright, 50%. One Sucker Lurgerio Cavendish, that's 37.5%, whatever that is. And then one Sucker Lurgio, 12.5%. Yeah, so I just got to learn that. But that's something good to have. If you ever read, put it in the bathroom with nothing else. Read it in there. I got this one. I haven't started it yet. It's another tobacco book. Let me know if you know any other tobacco books that are must reads. This one's kind of a history, and I'm trying to learn more about it. I'd like to get into, like I said, I'm growing my own this summer. I'm gonna try to grow some Virginias and some burleys, some rustica, for medicinal purposes, for pipe tobacco. I'd like to try cigars, roll my own cigars, but I'm not really a regular cigar person. I'm more of a, cause I get all my flavors from tobacco and pipe. So I like the coffee flavor of cigars. I like the acids. I like the a lot of Drew Estate stuff. I like the, I don't know if they still make them or not, but the White Rabbits, the Juicy Lucy's, all the Dead Girl ones. Oh, the girl with no name. I'm sorry, not the Dead Girls. The Girls with No Names. Serious. I love all of those. And Nubs has the coffee flavored ones. And I like it. I like those too. And I lost my whole. What did I do with mine? Okay. What happened? I came all organized and now completely unorganized. Well, I guess it won't be like this because. Oh, I didn't mean to get all up in y'all's face like that. Well, anyways, I'm probably going on too long anyways. I don't want to. Oh, there it is way over there. Dang it. I got my emergency pack here. Maybe I got a match. That's filters. I don't know if I showed this one or not, but $6.99 at Harbor Freight. Carry all your pipes, your filters, tobaccos you keep in a bag. Anytime I've only been twice, but anytime I go to the little pipe meetups, I carry this with me. I put about 6 jars in there. I put all my cleaners, hang a few pipes in there. I got my beautiful Nording pipe in there. And I should have some matches in one of these pockets. But if you will, like I said, I'm done with all this. If you will, by Friday, if you want to just say you're in, first of all, yeah, do that. Say you're in. Like my video, follow me, share me, maybe go through like some of the other ones. And you don't have to do that though. And tell me something you watch on YouTube that's not pipe, or something you're interested in that you look up, you read online or something, or even whatever books you read. Anything really. Just tell me something. And tell me if you want this. And tell me if you've had this. And tell me if you like this. And go by and say hi to them other YouTubers I mentioned. Well, that's it. I think this one went better. Don't you? This was better than the other one, right? Let me know. Thanks, y'all.